I'm Dani Trudeau, founder of Tribe Porty and Keystone. Tribe Porty is a community co-working space in Portobello, and Keystone's an online community and business program for women. Keystone started as Tribe Women 2 years ago, and we ran a group of 65 women over 8 months, and in the next year we ran a group of 50 women over 8 months, and now we've taken it online. It's a combination of professional development and personal development. We try to marry what really drives you and your business and how to keep well, and also give you some harder skills for business like business plan and marketing. Keystone started because I wanted to provide a space that women could explore their own ways of finding success and maybe combining their creative passions with good business skills, create a good network of like-minded women so they could succeed. Yeah, I think traditionally business is seen as growth, so you're thinking about your bottom line. You're not necessarily thinking about the triple bottom line or how you communicate or how you express yourself or who you are and how that reflects into your business. So I wanted to create a different space for business. We've tried to lead women through finding what's right for them. There's not a one-size-fits-all approach. There are some skills that you need to know how to do. You need to know your finances. You need to know how to communicate to others. You need to know your creative style and how you want to show up in the world. But it isn't just about that. And it isn't just about how much money you're gonna earn or how much fame or everybody else's idea of success. It's about what works for you and your life and your family. It's also about keeping well. So we do wellness rituals. So we do breathing to heart meditations to affirmations, which they all sound a bit cheesy, but we walk you through them and hopefully you find your own regular rituals to keep you well. And that also makes you a better businesswoman. Yeah, I think modern culture, we've obviously changed our roles quite a lot as women within families, within community. And I don't think we've had the chance or taken the time to establish where we sit as women in the business world and kind of carve out what's important. So spending time with friends, spending time with family, being physical, being creative, like all those things are just as important as your income that you want to bring in through your business. And I think there's a strong kind of cultural push to be aggressive or be more masculine, when I think there are better ways for men and women to do leadership or to run a business. It is how you treat your employees, it's how you treat your customers, it's the way you communicate, it's the way you show up for them, but also for yourself. So it's a slightly different approach than your average business course. Feedback's been great. A lot of transformational changes that women have reported. I think the community side of the program's a lot different than your average course as well. We help people get into smaller coaching circles where they meet and share, and a lot of the women are still meeting 3 years down the line. I myself have an accountability group which I meet regularly, and it's great. It kind of helps you talk through issues. It's not just about business either. Things come into conversations around what's happening in our personal lives, which then affects our business life. So it's more holistic. Yeah, so we started Keystone with inviting women that we knew of, that we inspired us or were expertise in different fields, and we did a vision backcasting session. So we thought about the student journey and what that could look like. So from the very beginning, we did it collectively. We did it in a group of women that we admired. And then we ran our pilot. We thought maybe we'd have 10, 15 women, and we had 80 applications, so we had to cut it down to 65, which actually was too many, but it was hard to say no. And even reading through all the applications, they were amazing. I had tears in my eyes about how talented and gifted and the experiences they all had, but they all were needing that extra bit of nurturing support. We also had some of the facilitators actually go on the course, so we wanted to do this kind of collectively, and I think we've done that really well, and we've worked with a lot of different women throughout the course and feedback every session, every year, and changed and adapted and try to make the best program that we can. We were always going to take Keystone online even before COVID. So we started building the online program before lockdown, but now it's just, and we did some user testing to make sure that's what people wanted. And I think the combination of accessibility, if you had a small family or you were a single mum or you were already working but you wanted to take your passion project to the next level, an online course offers that flexibility. And we've worked really hard to try and work in that community, that strong sense of community. So we have weekly Zoom sessions and smaller coaching circles and community forums within the online course program. I feel really privileged. I've worked with hundreds of women that I have to say all of them have been amazing. And I'm lucky to have a really big network of women I can call on, for different things. I need a designer, I need a photographer, I need some advice on a certain issue. I have a wonderful network of people to call on. It feels great. I mean, having all the testimonials and comments and feedback from people to say how much it's changed their lives is pretty amazing. I don't know, I can't want for anything more, really.
What's next? What's the next phase? What's the next part?
Next phase is launching our online program. Test it a bit, make sure we've got it right, make the changes that we need to make it better, and then run smaller, the feedback so far is having smaller groups of women, so having groups of 20 women maximum for each cohort, and then building on that. Eventually we'll bring back some person-to-person events. I think they're really important, and you obviously get a lot more back when you can be in a room and feel the energy of people. And hopefully have kind of chapters of Keystone throughout the UK and then maybe internationally, but kind of keep it small and beautiful to start with. Well, through my work at Tribe Porty, I just noticed the second year that 70% of our co-workers were women. So I started to speak to each individual woman entrepreneur that was using a desk or had a hot desking package, and a lot of reoccurring themes were coming up. So they felt like they were the main caretaker. They felt like they couldn't really invest all their energy into their work because other demands were placed upon them. A lot of women, and I hate to use this word, said they lacked confidence, but I think it's more about having the systems and structures in place to be more resilient rather than lacking confidence. It's not the same right now for men that it is for women in business generally. Some industries are different, but I think as a whole, I think there's some common issues for women. So having a kind of women-only focused safe space is important for kind of the next level of women in business. I don't think that a lot of current culture around business serves men or women. I think it tends to be aggressive and kind of focused on one person profiting more than another, and I think a more collective, the kind of tend and befriend that women tend to gravitate towards, can really serve not only women but community, the world as a whole a bit better. So having opportunities to showcase that and show that it works, and have examples of good businesses run by women who are who have defined what success looks like for them, and they're doing it on their own terms, I think will benefit everybody. And I hope that kind of spreads throughout culture in both genders. There's a lot of kind of girl power, girl boss, females are their future type language. And I get where that's coming from. And in a lot of cases, I champion that in some ways because I want to see more women feel empowered. And the more examples of women leaders we see, the more they'll be, because we can see them. But this isn't by any means putting men down. And I think there's a lot of negative cultures around expectations of what men should do that doesn't serve men either, and the pressures that they have of being main breadwinners or powerful or never showing weakness or asking questions. All that, I just want all of it to go away. I think we could do better. I'm not saying that isn't relevant in some cases. I think some instances that's important, but as a rule, I think we could do better. So Keystone's primarily for a new business startup. But we have a lot of employed women who have an itch, a desire to change jobs or start something new, or they're doing something on the side and they want it to be their full-time gig. And we think that's really relevant for them as well. So it's for anybody that wants a change, really, around their work and their working lives. Keystone's for a variety of women who are starting up or want to grow their business or ready for a change. We've had women who have been employed and have wanted to do something else, but they haven't been quite ready or needed a bit more support around what they wanted to do next. We've had some women come to us who have been working in an industry for a long time and they weren't well, so they wanted to change the way they were approaching their work. Some women wanted to change completely, wanted to do something completely different or go back to something they'd done before that was maybe more creative or reflected their values better than what they were currently doing.